This video is going to show you how to export timesheets from Project Insight into QuickBooks Online. You'll start by going to your QBO home screen and choose the Export Timesheets. This screen here will show you a list of all the approved timesheets that have not yet been exported. You can choose one or more of them to export and then click Send Timesheets to QBO. This is going to run through a process of making sure all of the data on these timesheets has been properly mapped to a QBO item or entity. Otherwise, it won't go over successfully. So it's telling me here that the PI users on the selected timesheets are not yet mapped to an employee or vendor. QuickBooks supports time entry for vendors as well as employees. Typically, it's going to be an employee. If we find a matching name to a PI user, it will pre-select the employee name in the drop-down list, so you can just click Map. And again, on the selected timesheets, it found companies that were reflected on those timesheets that are not yet mapped to a QBO customer. And likewise, it found over in QBO there is a matching customer name, so it pre-selected those in the drop-down list. The next step is, now that the customers have been mapped, the job under those customers needs to also be mapped. And so in this case, it found that this job has a matching name for a project in PI. This one here, it didn't. So it's giving you the option to create this as a new job in QBO. So this is warning you, are you sure you want to create this new job in QuickBooks Online? And we're going to say OK. And the last step here is to make sure the time codes that are on these the selected timesheets have a matching or a mapped QBO item from the products and services list. So again, it found in the QBO item list, it found items with the matching name, so it pre-selected them for us. So we can just say map. And now it's telling you after looking things over, everything looks good to go. So you can click the Send to QBO, and it'll send those timesheets and create the relative time activity entries over in QuickBooks Online. So it sent over both timesheets. Both were successful since they're outlined in green. If any one of them had had an error from QBO, they would be outlined in red, and you'd see a detailed error message of why QBO wouldn't accept it. So if we go over to QuickBooks Online, then we can see in our employees, I'm sorry, we can do it here. If we look at the weekly timesheets, and I know one of them was for last week, so we can pull that up. Or maybe both of them were. So here, the Emily Platt employee, these hours came over, and I believe the other was Richard Gold. So yeah, so it pulled these hours over from that timesheet, so you can see that they came over.